So when getting a job, it can be difficult at times, especially if you have several different multimedia accounts, such as YouTube, Twitch streaming, your Twitter, your Snapchat, those kind of different across platform accounts, even if you only have one. And really what I'm getting at is why do employers, bosses, or hiring managers never hire you? Well, there could be very many, several reasons to which I may not understand, which we can help each other on this and try and figure out and really brainstorm and put things together and try and figure it out. First things first, three of my friends before I get into my life detail. So, one of my friends that wanted to get hired at Walmart actually got hired right off the bat. Actually, he knew the hiring manager. As soon as she saw him, she was like, "Hey, you know what? Right off the bat, as soon as they saw you come in to get this job, you were already hired. No questions asked, hands down." And it really also depends on who you know. And it's kind of like Alaska. Really, this town is biased and judgmental. This really small town in Arizona. And it's like Alaska. If you don't know anybody, maybe your rep isn't that good, nobody will hire you. And it shouldn't be treated like Alaska. But we'll just kind of continue and just get in a different aspect. So, aside from that friend being hired right off the bat, here's what happened. One of my friends tried to get hired at Walmart over here. Now, mind you, this town only has one Walmart, one Safeway, um, one O'Reilly's, one Napa Auto Parts, just literally one of everything. There's not more than one things to, be hired at. In fact, they call this a city. Really, it's a town. It's no bigger than Tombstone, honestly. And not only that, they call this a supercenter Walmart. Really not a supercenter. I have to go on their store website to get supercenter stuff for what I need. Not even my bike that I bought from a supercenter Walmart in Colorado, I found over here. I had to go on Walmart just to order another bike. So, without further ado, here's the deal. My friend tried to get hired at this Walmart. I don't know how many times he applied. I don't know how many times interviews he went through, but he had quite a few, and they still wouldn't hire him. So him and his family had to move to New Mexico, and they stayed there for about a year. But when they first moved down there, in about a couple weeks to about a month, I would say, he applied for Walmart over there. So, he got the job right off the bat, hands down, and he started working there. So in about a year, they had to move back to this small town in Arizona. Now, mind you, he put in his transfer papers to get his job here, and I guess Walmart down here had to just accept it. I guess they couldn't turn their other cheek. Maybe they saw that he was working good over there. He was doing what he needed to be done. He was working in the meat department, really getting everything done that he needed to. And they said, you know what, we should have hired him, but now we'll accept him. Yeah, now we'll let him, come onto our team. Now, I don't know about you. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm not making this video to bash any companies or to piss anybody off. Just to kind of get together and see if you've been through the same thing that he's been through. So last time I talked to him, he's been doing good. He's still working in the meat department. New Mexico's minimum wage is lower than Arizona's. Arizona's is 10.50 an hour. It's about to go up. Check the date on the video, and he's working over $11 an hour because he's in the meat department. Now, another friend of mine tried to get hired at O'Reilly's here. Again, small town, seems to be biased. And at first they said, yeah, we're hiring two people. Then later on they said, oh no, we already hired two people. We don't need anybody, but try somewhere else. So what did he do? He did the smart decision like my other friend did. He decided to work in Tucson. Now that's about half an hour drive, give or take, depending on where it is, how far you live, especially what town you're coming out of. And so in the day, that's a 2 hour job going up there and going back, or an hour drive going up there and going back. Now, working there for about 2 weeks to maybe a month, the boss catches on and goes, "Hey, so you're from so and so town. Um, what are you doing up here, if you don't mind me asking?" He said, "Well," gave him the story. Boss said, "Really? Well, you know what? I'm not. It's not like you're lying. I just want to fact check, make sure that the store is actually telling the truth." So he went on his computer and he checked it for himself, and he said, "Actually, no, they're still hiring two people. I don't know why they lied and said that they're not hiring two people because they still need two people in their store. Would you like me to move you down there?" He said, "Yes." Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. They moved him down there. Now, Riley's fucked up the first time by lying about this and them not needing him here. And this is really where the back burner technique, comes into play. Whenever you're trying to get a job, it may take a couple weeks, couple months, even a couple years. Really, they're just not wanting to hire you. If they have to, they will, but they really don't want to hire you, so they won't. So they'll keep you on the back burner. They'll put your application on the very bottom stack. And this is where your corporate numbers and corporations will come into play. You see, because this has happened to me. Now, here's what happened. I first put in my applications. The district manager came down from Tucson. We had a talk. Had my first interview. Everything was good. Then he left. Then everything at O'Reilly's went back to normal. Nobody was speedy. Nobody was fast. It was normal. You know how those things happen when big corporations come down. So, okay, I guess I didn't get hired yet. I don't know when the hiring thingy's going. Maybe they didn't hire anybody, so I waited. Then I get two things back saying, so I wasn't hired. So, it's whatever. Um, I guess I didn't have my second interview, so whatever. Two people got hired. Why not? Whatever. So I resubmitted both my applications because, well, there still needs to be more people working there, right? Because I can obviously plainly see it on the thing. So after I put in my two applications, uh, again, one for front counter parts person and one for a parts delivery driver, I quickly decided to, you know, bug the hiring manager who blatantly apparently said he wasn't the hiring manager. So there's two types of people you're going to find in this world. The one type of person is they're sitting at home, they're playing video games, they're not doing a damn thing in their personal time except smoking weed, doing whatever, hanging out with their friends. And again, I'm not trying to be judgmental, but I'm being open-minded about this, and being a kind of a free thinker about this. So you know, you've got that person that will sit home again, play video games, and they'll call into the company going, "Hey, my name is so and so. I applied at Riley's and I put in my application. I'm just giving my first and last name and check up on it and see where we're at." Okay, well, then they'll go, "All right, well, we'll just uh, we'll just let you know when the obviously the hiring things go on and start interviewing you when the interviews pick up." Great. So 3, 4 weeks go by. Again, said so person calls again. Maybe they're at their friend's house smoking weed. Maybe they're just doing their own thing. Either they don't have a job yet or they do have a job yet. They're still calling it. Then you got someone like me who will actually walk in after putting in their first submitted application and going, "Hey, my name is so and so. Here's a firm shake hand, and I just put my application." And they'll go, "Okay, yeah, we'll wait for you. We got your number on file. We'll call you when the the hire the interviews start to pick up because we're trying to get everybody's application through." Great, not a problem. So every week, one day out of one of those weeks, or one day out of one of those weekly days of every week, I will walk in and I'll use my personal gas and my personal time out of my personal day to go bug them because that's what a responsible adult does. So that's what I did. Now, to me, it didn't seem like a waste of time or a waste of my gas at the time because I was actually seemed like I was going to get the job. I didn't know I was held on the back burner. I didn't know what was going on. So I explained to him that my driver's license is clean. Not trying to sound like I'm better than everybody else, but try to find somebody in this town that has a clean driver's license. People that I've known around here that would steal their own parents' car, drive around, they would do their own thing. Let's say they would, you know, they would just do a lot of stupid stuff. Okay, so not a lot of people's driving records is clean here, especially their personal records. So about several months go by to 2 years. Now I didn't get hired, but hold on, let's go back. I didn't even get an interview, and new people got hired. Also, my friend and a couple other people put in their applications and they didn't get an interview. So I called corporate. This is when corporate becomes your best friend. This is when you learn that corporate is on your side and not to be afraid to call them because they're going to move some fucking weight in that store. Call corporate. They talk to me, then they send me to HR. Then HR says, okay, so and so is going to call you, maybe not today, but he did call me, that day. And then he's like, all right, meet me here tomorrow at this time. So I did. I met the district manager that came down from Tucson, and we had a talk. And he found it bizarre that I didn't get a second interview. So he's like, what? That's not right. Okay, well, I'm going to be right down there tomorrow. We're going to figure this out. As soon as I walked into that building, man, I tell you what, those motherfuckers worked their asses off like they should have. Nobody was sitting outside smoking their cigarettes, bullshitting, hanging out when products and stuff needed to be replaced on the shelf. None of that. Everybody was actually there, making sure they were at their posts, positions, getting stuff done. And that's how it should be. So, and I don't smoke. I would actually be finding my own time doing my own thing. So, we talk, we go through the interview, and I explain to him, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. This doesn't make sense. Well, needless to say, again, I didn't get the job. Seemed as if I was still put on the back burner. So he didn't hire me. The district manager didn't hire me, whatever, and I didn't understand that. I also applied for two other areas in town called well, I won't say what the name is, but it was a lube place to change your transmission and oil fluids in your vehicle, plus Napa Auto Parts. Now, I didn't spend as much time trying to apply at Napa and that fluid place as I did O'Reilly's. A bit about my life: when I grew up, I was actually self-entitled. I said, I don't want to work at this job because it's shitty and it's fast food. I'd rather work at this job. O'Reilly's was the best job in town, or CarQuest, or Napa, whatever, etc. Now, I did actually, for my first real job, I actually did work at, moving on from side jobs, I did work at Wendy's here. Now, I learned from hands down experience, hey, this is a really great job. And I've built up customer experience, and I've helped a lot of customers. A lot of customers liked me. They're like, oh, this guy's great. I really like him. So they had a lot of laughs. We joked around. When my general manager threw me on front counter and saw the amount of customer experience I had, she said, fuck you being on grill and, you know, on fries. We're going to keep you up there. Oh, and the drive-through as well. Yeah, I didn't really like that, but hey, she knew what I can do. I was scared. Everybody else was when they did it, and I did it. Who would you rather put on the front counter? Hi, welcome to Wendy's. What can we make for you today? Or would you rather hire, hi, welcome to Wendy's. What can we make for you today? You have the difference between a straight face, no smile, shitty attitude, or you have a positive face, happy smile, and you're helping that customer, and it's what you see in life. And generally what, with me looking at my friend at the time, I'm like, Jesus Christ, that person's scary. Now, I do have a resting bitch face. I will admit that. A lot of people think that I'm this angry, pissed off person. Really, generally I'm not. I'm really a nice person. Where I'm getting at with this is I worked at Wendy's for about a year. I knew what I got myself into. I knew that, hey, I already worked fast food. Let's go do something different. This is a high schooler's job. This is kids that are still in high school, about to get out of high school, and they need a job. This is a job. This is not a career. O'Reilly's, it shows it on their page. Career. Loves. Loves travel and truck stops. They offer 401k. That's a career. Walmart. They offer 401k. Again, that's a career. So getting on with this, I tried to move on from Wendy's to, again, Walmart. I did two separate applications. I did two separate interviews. Didn't get either or. Again, this is where I feel the whole biased, judgmental thing happens in this town and the whole jobs in general. So I didn't get those. I wasn't about to drive to and from, let's say, Tucson or Sierra Vista to work at one of these jobs and transfer down here. Obviously, wasn't even in my mind to do so. Now, am I still a little self-entitled? No, but everybody else, like, not I'm not saying I'm better than everybody. I'm saying, yeah, I'm sure I have a little bit in me, but everybody else does as well. Not everybody is there going, yeah, I don't want to work at this job because of this and that. Everybody that I've seen, including myself, still has that piece in them. But there are a lot of people that go, I don't care, it's work, it's money, let's do this. Here's where I come on top though. Here's what separates me from a lot of people. Again, I'm not trying to say I'm better than everybody, but this is what I see. So, what I see is when I worked at Wendy's, I saw in order for me to make money, I've got to make this company money. But it's not just money and everything else. It's where you place at in the company. In standing terms, what I'm saying is you're providing a certain quality for the public, just like Walmart. You don't just walk into Walmart and see all the shelves stacked and nobody works there because people still need to work there to give back to their community. And that's where I am, and that's where I draw the line is, hey, I'm giving the community something to look forward to. I'm giving them a solid, so let's do it. Let's do this. I want to give back to my community. I need to give back to my community. I want to know how it feels to work at Walmart. Yeah, and not maybe not everybody likes it there, but I'm not one to just judge right off the bat. I want to know how it feels to work there because I've learned from being self-entitled to, oh, yeah, fast food is pretty cool. Granted, my manager was crap. My general manager was actually really cool. She kept me but there for the longest time until I quit. But here's where things start to get itchy on the trigger finger side. And what I mean by that, I mean, here's what I just do not get. This is what rattles my spray can. So, you'll hire somebody that has been fired from more than 3 jobs in this town, but you won't hire somebody that quit only one job. I don't understand that. Now, granted, I do have automotive experience. I'm not saying I'm ASE certified. I'm not saying I work on vehicles for a living. I know my way around them. What I am saying is I work on my own vehicles. I don't just do oil changes. I do, hey, I broke an axle on my off-road truck. I need to fix it. Hey, my engine mount fucked up. I need to fix it. I do my own work on my own truck, my own car, my family's vehicles, my friends' vehicles, and I don't just go in balls deep and just go, oh, fuck it, I know what I'm doing. YouTube and Google is your friend to do these things. However, you don't do that because you screw something up, that's it. So it's always good to go through somebody that has experience and who actually knows what they're doing. So of course that's what I do. So that way I learn, and then next time I can do it on my own. Now, I did explain to the district manager, hey, I do have um, a personal record. It's a misdemeanor, not a felony. However, my driving record is clean. So I'm not trying to sound fucked up in any way, but I explained to him, I said, have fun trying to find somebody with a clean driving record in this town. A lot of people do screw up. A lot of people do drive fast. A lot of people steal their parents' cars growing up, and that's a given. That's going to happen. People do drive without a license for whatever reason. Again, it's a given. It's going to happen. However, here's my problem point in being. So where I see it is it seems like O'Reilly's just doesn't care. And I think the hiring manager there, and I think this is, and I'm not trying to knock on the company itself. I think it's really the people that runs the place. For instance, say the kid that used to work there. I don't know if he got fired, if he quit or whatever, or if he moved on. Well, he hired his friends. Now, me, my friend, and a couple other people didn't even get an interview, nonetheless. So when I called corporate, I felt discriminated out of not getting an interview card. I didn't pull the, hey, that sounds like a lawsuit card. I was just being open-minded and trying to explain to them that how come they got hired and I didn't? I didn't get an interview. These select people didn't get an interview. This doesn't make sense. I need help. So with that being said, yeah, that's when everything and all the shit stirred and came down. Another thing is when your friend works there and you're trying to get a job, you'd think your friend would put in a good word for you or good words and say, hey, you know what? I know this guy personally. Before I even had a job, he actually, when I was going through school, he invited me out to this person's house because we are going to help him move. And he told me, hey, you know what? Get off your phone, dude. It's not good to be on your phone while you're on a job. And so it was one of those. He actually helped me along the way. He's a really good friend, but let's put the side friendship, let's put the friendship aside. In all general, he's a really great guy. He does a lot of good things. No, that was not the case for this one. Instead, it was more of he was out for himself and for the company and its friends there. So that friend never stuck up for me, as far as I can see. And one of those he just didn't become a friend after that. It was just the type of person where, nah, I don't need this person in my life. If you really want to know if that person If you really want to know one of your friends is a friend in life, bring your girlfriend with you, bring your wife with you, bring somebody that will stay in the background while you talk to that person and see how their emotions and their reactions react to what you say. And that person that you actually trust more than that friend that you're talking to will bring it forward and go, you bought this thing from this place and now he's looked at you retarded and said that's not going to work. Well, that's not a friend. That's just a person being an asshole. Really, that's not a friend. So, a lot of things in life that can help you not get a job, especially if people like friends don't stick up for you and help you get the said so job that you're trying to get. Another thing, again, like is social media. For instance, say you're trying to get this job, um, the hiring manager is about to hire you. That person's a Christian. Let's say you're a Mormon. Out of nowhere, they're right about to call you and they go, well, let's check his Facebook. Oh, he's a Mormon. We're not going to hire him. And vice versa. It could be flipped if, say, there's more Mormons in that store that hires people, and out of nowhere, you're a Christian, and they go, well, we're a lot about that Mormon life. We're Mormons in church. We don't really know this person unless they're a Mormon. We'd hire him. No, we're not going to hire this person. And so that's another thing in key that can really screw you over from getting a job. And that does fall into the discrimination factor, including, we'll say body piercings, we'll say tattoos, or your ears being gauged, all of which I have neither. I'm thinking about getting tattoos. I don't want to get piercings for that said reason. And it again, it's discrimination if they don't hire you because you have tattoos. Because let's face it, why should they hire you because you're gay and they can't hire you because you're gay, but they can free blatantly not hire you because you have tattoos? Again, you weren't born gay and you weren't also born with tattoos. So obviously there's somewhere around this line, there's a fine line, and it's just fuckery all in general. Another thing is they can look on your Facebook, and if you share something about weed, like you're pro, I think 401, whatever that is, again they could be like, oh no, that's not good for us. We need clean people to be here. Or they see that now they're expecting a piss test, and there you go. Now you're going to be piss tested, and all fails, and you can't get the job because you do smoke weed. And also, if you have a medical marijuana card, you don't have this legal binding where, oh, I can smoke weed and I can still work. No, it doesn't work that way. At least not all jobs, at least. But if you do have a medical marijuana card, you do have a legal right to smoke weed. Yeah, you can smoke weed, but you're not supposed to have it in your system while you're at work. So say you smoked weed 2 days ago, it's still going to be in your system, your hair follicle, your, you know, your deal. And again, if you get piss tested, you'll get fired right off the bat. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen to a lot of people. It does happen to the majority of people. For instance, if I knew the people that smoke, like, for instance, say I know people that smoke weed right now at Walmart, plus people that smoke weed at any other location in this small town. If I were to call corporate and go, hey, I just smoked weed, and will lie and go on a limb, I just smoked weed with these types of people at this store in this town, then that store is going to call, the boss and go, hey, this isn't good. So these people apparently was smoking weed over here with this person. We're gonna, we're gonna we're gonna do random piss tests, and that's what's gonna happen. Most likely, that store is gonna lose the amount of people working there, half the store, if not all the people, because a lot of people do smoke weed in this life. I'm not saying everybody does. I don't smoke it. I don't see a need for me. I don't have chronic pain, unlike some of my friends do that have their medical marijuana card. But again, where I'm trying to get at without trying to get off topic is your social media life can and will either get you fired or it won't help you at all for getting a job. You can be nagging and bragging about something, and no, we're not going to hire this person because he complains a lot, or he can say something bad about the company, and so on and so forth. Not to mention, I've actually seen this happen hands down. There was a female, we'll say her name is Linda. Linda has a daughter. She called into work saying her daughter's sick. She couldn't go to school, so she had to stay home for Linda. Okay, not a problem. We'll just have Kelsey cover you. And so that same day, Linda goes with her daughter to a small festival. They're hanging out, they're checking out all the cool things, or maybe a concert. Well, now Kelsey is friends with Linda, or somebody is at the same work that Linda works at. So Kelsey's like, "Hey, this is a bunch of bullshit. This is my day off. I shouldn't have to come in for this. Look what Linda's doing." The boss gets a hold of that, goes ahead and files her fired papers, and now Linda is fired because guess what? Linda lied about her daughter being sick. And that's just a disgusting thing to do in life. I mean, I get it if you're going to do that. I get it. You want a day off or whatever. You're trying to own it up to your kid, have your kid go out and do something, but really it's just wrong. And so social media again can be a big thing in your life when you're taking like Facebook live videos, Twitch streaming videos, your YouTube live videos, and again your boss or hiring manager, whoever it is, can follow up on that and go, okay, well, this is going to be a markup on your paper because this is what happened. Don't do it again. You lied to us. Now they're not going to trust you. You're going to be untrustworthy. And it's just really how you look at it in life. So, getting back to me, at the years when I spent my personal gas and personal time getting a job or trying to get a job at O'Reilly's, was it the right thing to do? No. They left me on the back burner. I was very pissed. Even when I put in my application at Napa Auto Parts, which I live awfully close by compared to CarQuest, put in my app and they said, okay, yeah, we'll go through it. And then we're actually looking for a couple people. Same thing like O'Reilly. Well, no, they actually said they weren't looking for anything. They said they weren't looking for anybody. So I was like, okay, not a problem. They said, but if we are, we'll call you. We have your phone number. So, I waited, gave it at least a couple months because I figured maybe, jobs like that, nobody really quits or moves on to because it's a really good job or career if you point it towards a career. If you really like it, you feel like this is great. Hell, even I've known people that stays in the fast food business because to them it's a career. They like it, they love it, they know what to do, they know how to run the restaurant. Great, all power to them. So I talked to them again. They go, okay, yeah, we're looking for some people. We'll call you. We still have your number. Great. So about a month goes by, no call. I start to say, you know what? I don't know what's going on here. I hate being pushed around. I hate being bullied. This is a bunch of BS. I go back in about a month or two. They go, oh, we already hired two people. Well, again, where the fuck was I for this? Where were you? Why didn't you call me? If I couldn't pick up, there's an answering machine for Christ's sakes. You can easily just leave your name. So from Napa, calling on behalf of Joshua, whatever his last name is, and to give us a call back or come in during this day in the state. That can be happening because, hey, what if I'm already at another job that I'm already working at and they don't call me, or they call me but they don't leave a message? Just those kind of things is really rough, and people just do not realize and understand that kind of thing. So, bottom line, has this ever happened to you? In general, everything that I talked about, has this ever happened to you in your own personal shoes? Let me know in the comment section below. Again, you don't have to subscribe, unlike this video, but I do want to know in the comment section because this is just ridiculous. I'm not understanding this in life. I don't know why, this has happened to me. Have you putting in applications to a company never hired you, but you move somewhere else and you transfer back to the place you're at? Has that ever happened to you? Really general. I really want to know. I want some insight and see if anybody has really gone through this type of, position and problem before.